I don't know how we followed that. Because I'm the ridiculously skinny model that was photographed.
We still love you.
Can I take this out? I'm Dana Hill, and I'm the founder of a movement called the Black Doll Affair. Black as in the color, doll as in Barbie, affair as in special events. President Barack Obama said, "It's not until you hitch yourself to something bigger than yourself do you realize your greatest potential." In 2006, after watching Kira Davis on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and she spoke about a documentary that she created, a 7-minute documentary called A Girl Like Me, our movement began. On that show, Kira reconducted the historical doll test. If you remember back in 1954, Kenneth and Mamie Clark went to the historical case of Brown versus the Board of Education. And it was because of the doll test study where he showed to the Supreme Court a test, a very simple test, where black children were given a black doll and a white doll and asked to choose which doll they most preferred. There was zero reason for these children to choose the white doll over the black doll because they were identical. However, when asked the question, which doll do you prefer to play with? Which doll is the good doll? Which doll is the pretty doll? And which doll looks like you? They all chose, or 90% of them chose the white doll, including the doll that most looked like them. So what does that tell us? That our children are most relating to the doll that they play with, but we don't reach out and take it upon ourselves to do something about it. And I decided to do something about it, and I set out to throw what was supposed to be a one-time Christmas party. And I was going to call it the Black Doll Affair. And the mission behind this party was to get the most beautiful black women in Atlanta on board, of every shade, of every size, of every age, so that a girl, a young girl, could relate to her. Because when you're young and you see a Barbie-type figure come into the room, you think, she's a princess. She's pretty. And yes, she looks like me. So the initial idea behind the Black Doll Affair was to have these beautiful women, as the women you see on the stage, of every hue, of every size, of every age, to walk into the door and strike a black girl and remind her of her beauty. And the mission was to do that with a toy black doll. That was the gift that we were given that evening. And I thought, well, we'll call these women living dolls. And so the party was hugely successful. We are coming up on our 3rd birthday. The Black Doll Affair has its own day. It's been proclaimed in the state of Georgia. The affairs of the Black Dolls is that we go out and we remind a black girl of her beauty. We started with a little girl, but then we've learned through our programs that those little girls grow up to be big girls, and yet they have the same issues. And so we have what we call full circle programs. And our full circle programs, when they're a toddler, we deliver a black doll. When they are a tween, we talk to them about growing up black girl. When they are 18 plus, we have what we call Black Doll Diaries, because there's so much out there, so much negativity about what it means to be a black woman. According to the media, our men don't want to marry us. We have AIDS and every other STD we're dying from. Just the worst thing on the planet is to be a black woman. We don't save money. We don't buy houses. We make less money in corporate America. Everything negative is thrown at us. And so we have what we call Diaries of a Black Doll, and that gives us the opportunity to tell our stories, and we're very excited to kick that off in 2011. And then we would have what we call Conversations with Legacy. And Conversations with Legacy is when we get with our 40-plus dolls, and we talk to a black woman who has forgotten her dream. And we call it full circle because every little girl has a dream. But one day, someone tells you you can't because you're black. One day we realize, whether it be on a playground or in corporate America, that that dream that you shared with what you thought was a friend is now busted because someone told you, girl, you must be kidding. Who are you to do that? And so we get our most successful women at 40 years and older, and we say, what was it you were dreaming about when you were a little girl at that doll-delivering age before someone told you that you were only black? And so we go full circle. While we started out giving toys, the affairs of the Black Dolls is to remind a black girl of her beauty. And our slogan is, we're pretty, philanthropic. Because pretty will get us through the door, and pretty will get the attention. But pretty is fading. And what is it really at the end of the day? We want to remind a black girl that she needs to create a legacy, leave a legacy. And so the affairs of the Black Dolls, when they go out and they're feeding the homeless, or painting a school, or giving back. This Christmas we're going to go into a little girl's home and decorate her room into a dollhouse.
Right. Yeah.
They've been the subject of Tom Joyner Morning Show twice, Essence Magazine, and countless others. The reason why these women were chosen tonight, well, we've got Black Dolls across the United States, is because they are not just pretty. They have not just been there when the camera was rolling. They are there to send books to Africa, to lend an open hand. And that is what the Black Doll Affair is all about. I could never have done it without the beautiful women we see here on the stage. The doll slogan is, be a doll, give a doll. And so Stacey McBride Irby, she's a Mattel designer. She's our honorary Black Doll. Most people don't know that the new Sew & Style Barbie doll that's out there, that's created for us, by us, is designed by a black doll. And so when you're out there this Christmas, the Sew & Style doll is the official doll of the Black Doll Affair. Those are the dolls that we give out in the community. You can get those dolls on blackdollaffair.com. You can get them in Target. But the reason why you should get them is because it's the first time ever that Mattel has devoted a doll that looks like us. The nappy hair, the long things are huge, the big butts, the fabulous lips, the cheekbones.
Right. Go ahead now.
And when you hear somebody complaining that it's not good enough, that it's not dark enough, that it's too skinny, that the hair is not kinky enough, remember, it's a start. And when I hear women look at certain dolls and go, I'm not buying that, she's so blue black, which we've heard, I remind everybody to remember that that is huge in who we are. And as long as we're conflicted at the counter and deciding not to buy those blue black dolls, or those dolls that are solely dedicated to us, and when Mattel has decided we gave it to you but you wouldn't buy it, that's our fault. That's our fault. So we're not advocating not to buy white dolls. We have what we call porcelain dolls in our family of affairs. Because in the doll test, the porcelain doll didn't speak back. She didn't say, hey girl, you're just as pretty as I am. Look at those beautiful brown eyes. And so our porcelain dolls, porcelain pals, the girls have come up with several names for them, they are there as well to help us remind a black girl of her beauty. So having said that, when Francois asked me to come and talk about why the Black Dolls were women on the move, I couldn't wait to have these women come and join me. So if you will, please give a round of applause to these fabulous